Alright, welcome back to another league race, I should say. This time we're with TMC Division 1. This time we are in Singapore, and we have an interesting wrinkle right off the bat here. It's a dry start, then it gets wet, and then it gets set to get dry again for the end of the race. So this made things very, very interesting, because the qualifying and the setup, kind of what way to go. There's no way of knowing how long the rain's going to be around, if it literally comes after 5 minutes, or it's going to be difficult. So I think ultimately the decision I went for was just to keep it dry, keep the dry setup, because would seem like the majority of the race would be in the dry, and obviously qualifying is dry. So plus a few other things with this Singapore is, like, also I'm running at level wing anyway, so that kind of negates that. Low tire pressures anyway, so kind of the two kind of did mesh in some ways. So anyways, we go out. This is my first lap on the soft tires, or sorry, my quickest lap on the soft tires to get to 36.9. I think that was my best lap on the soft tire I've ever done it in the qualifying session. So anyways, I'm going to go on board for this lap actually, because this lap was one of my best laps around Singapore on ultra soft. So heading into turn one, try and take that curb as much as you can, try and ride that curb but not too much. It does unsettle the car a little bit, and it's easy to lose the back end and coming down towards I think this is towards Raffles Boulevard. Try and take a bit of the curb on the inside. You have to be really, really committed to a full throttle, especially on the ultras or hypers, and heading down then this boulevard. I'm going to get put off by the Williams in front of me of Kyle, and I miss my apex and I run wide almost to the point where I invalidate the lap time, but I'm playing catch up from here, because obviously I should be moving on my softs, and obviously I lost a decent little bit of time there. So now this lap is just like, right, I'm going all out for it. So you're going to see the commitment. Look at that, taking all that curb, and really look at that, riding very, very close to that wall, flat as you like, pretty much. Really nice exit off the hairpin as well. And so this lap is kind of coming together now a little bit after that mistake. So really ballsy middle sector has helped kind of right the ship in many ways. So here down towards 17, 18, taking that curb, and then you want to fling it in nice and early, ride that curb a bit, full throttle, and then down towards 19 and 20. I could have taken a bit more of that curb, to be fair, on the inside, but on the raggedy edge, I missed that apex a little bit. You can take a bit more of the curve, and I lose a bit of time here in the final corner. Actually, it was actually a very good last corner, to be fair. Not that one. I was thinking of another session, but there you go. 35.1, which is tied my best time around Singapore, and I think that could have been a bit more as well. So that was good enough for an 8th place in the end, which was a good qualifying session. I don't get in the top 10 too often, but when I do, it was it was a good lap. Singapore is a track I do feel quite decent around. Comfortable after you get used to kind of the slipping and sliding kind of aspect of it, but I was really happy with how kind of things came together in qualifying there. Could have been a bit quicker, but I don't think it would have actually affected my grid position in the end. So there is the situation with regards to weather. Comes soon enough, so I switch up to 9 wing for the race, and just kind of it's just kind of let it come really. I underfueled the car as well. That's important. You need to underfuel the car. I did anyways, right, Singapore. I left a lap or so underneath. There was a 0.7 I left to play with. So most because I run around lean and low around Singapore anyways, to majority of the track. I'm just going to set softs just in case, but looking at that, it will clearly be intermediate running. So that's where we stand, and now we can get set here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Always a long haul, even longer with rain, but 5 red lights, and away we go. Decent start. We're going to be facing no pressure off to begin, and we can have a look at Kevin if you want down the inside. A bit late braking than I should have been. I was around to the back of Calsper, then Kevin's going to have a little bit of a wobble here with Calsper, on the back of Calsper rather, who is bottled by Scuba, but so I can get by Calsper a bit. There's Technique and Scuba in front. I'm kind of bottlenecked by Technique a bit, and that allows Casper to go up the inside, and I was running to the back of him there. That could have been extremely dangerous, possibly under pressure from Matt on my left hand side, but I thought he was going to go for it, to be fair, but we just backed down then, and he backs off. I left him, well, I didn't really leave any space there because the overtake wasn't on by that stage, but I was trying to settle into it, nurse these tyres. It became clear on the formation that the rain would be coming soon, so it wasn't even 5 or 10 minutes, that would be soon, kind of inside the next few laps, which is always, when Jeff says that, it's an indication that it is going to be coming quite soon, and definitely less than 10 minutes. So we're not going to be on these ultras for too long as we head down towards the chicane. Kind of settling in then. Mac very close there actually to behind. Technique is a big moment there, and that's going to allow Calsper to get by in front of him, but we can't quite take advantage, and that's going to leave us still in P7. Kevin, the big loser there from lap 1. Moving on to lap 3, Technique is on the Hypersoft, and they're still okay for the moment, but he's pulled a little bit of a gap. I've got a little bit of a buffer to myself. Mash, not much, but I've got enough straight line speed that I get good exits. Like, that's the one thing I've noticed. I get good exits out of some of these corners and other corners on the calendar as well, and that allows me to just kind of escape kind of people in the DRS. So lap 4, end of lap 4, you see how much the hypers have fallen, and that's a silly warning there. I got a few of those this race and it was really, really poor. You can see where Technique has kind of fallen back on these hypers, so he's coming into our clutches now, so we're going to stick with this. You see the rain has actually begun to fall, so the conditions have turned, so it is quite early, lap 4, so we're good in these ultras, but these hypers are it's just a little too soon, and so it's going to be tough to approximate kind of when do we come into the pits, but I kind of know when. You do feel it in the track and you monitor the times, but here we go, coming out of turn 5 then. DRS has not been disabled yet, so we are going to have a run here at Technique. This is a big move to make if you can get it done. Singapore could be tough for overtaking. He tries to cover the inside, but I'm there, down the inside, later braking, and I stop in time for that one. So, good overtake there. We can get on with trying to navigate these conditions, and Technique is going to be a great favour. Actually, Dobby here has contact with Calsper and retires and quits the race. So that puts us up in another position. We gained 2 positions this lap then, so that was a welcome bonus, but unfortunate for Dobby obviously as well. Anyways, lap 6, the track conditions were getting worse. You could definitely feel it, they're getting worse, and DRS is disabled. The last lap, lap 5, we were about 5 seconds lower to 2 sectors. I was thinking about pitching, but I just wanted to play it safe and stay at 1 lap longer. Plus, my teammate Sway was going to come in that lap, so even though he's behind me, he was going to get stuck, and it was just better that it worked out this way. So, lap 6 then, we come into the pits. Darren Sinclair there in front. We're going to put on the intermediates. But the unfortunate thing is there were other people who pitted that lap. Like, honestly, the 2 sectors on that track, on that lap 5, it was 4 seconds. Look at the almighty hold here, like unreal. We're going to get ahead of Matt still, but that's a bad hold. We were 5 seconds basically down through 2 sectors, and the lap afterwards, lap 6, the in lap, it was 10 seconds lower through 2 sectors. You can see how the track had deteriorated. So there goes Technique. I was like 3 or 4 seconds ahead of him easily, and he goes back through an F1 Alonso, who wasn't even near us. Kind of, he was in the picture, but kind of well behind. Has also got the jump during this undercut. So we still emerged in 6th place. We're looking good, but I lost a lot of time on during that lap and the pit stop. Obviously, lap 7, everyone else is having an almighty shunt of the wall, and he retires. It was quite spectacular. I looked at his footage. He sent me his footage, and he sent the footage in. And honestly, he's made a brief he had brief contact with the wall, and his tires exploded. It was quite incredible. Poor guy. Lap 9 though. Technique is kind of pulling away a little bit. He's 5.4 seconds ahead. Matt's just behind us on the inters, so trying to run my best with a dry setup here is difficult. But that's again, like, there's silly stuff like that. It was just poor. Because you don't want to try and take part of that corner, but it was just poor for me this race. Some of the corner cutting, like, by my own standards. So lap 14, the rain is kind of stopped and the track is drying out, but it's not dry enough. And other people have decided they will take the plunge and pit. So Technique, Darren was one. Guys take the plunge early. Like, the rain stopped for a few laps. The track was dry, but the DRS has still not been disabled. And so, if nothing else, you need to know when it is to pit under dry and wet conditions. And if you're not sure, then DRS is a decent indicator. And there it is. DRS is enabled. And that's a good opportunity then. So technically lap 15 and lap 16 would have been a good time to pit, but nothing wrong with pitting a lap 16. We lost a little bit of time, but not too much. Anyways, get in under the speed limit, and we're going to go for set ultra softs at this point. So you got to go 14 laps basically, maybe 15 including the one we're on, and that's worth it. That is worth the risk compared to the softs over that time. And again, another bit of a hold, and that's worth it at this stage. compared to the difference between the ultra and the soft. Because of course, there's no super soft here. So, anyways, I'm going to exit the pits. We're in second place. Darren's going to go by, and then Calsper's going to go by too. This second, and there's Calsper for third. Very, very cautious of the pit exit. Don't want to do anything silly. So, anyways, Calsper and Darren are on softs, and that is a big, big thing in this race. So, lap 17, basically just over halfway, we can get cracking on these guys. And lap 19, Calsper then is first up, and I want blood. Like, I want blood. I want sniffing it. That's what I want. I want this move on Calsper very, very badly, and get a good run out of turn 5. Look, I think there may have been a bit desync there. I'm not sure, but anyways, we get by on the ultras. Boom. That is a move into the podium positions, and now I've got penalties, so I need to keep pushing. I picked up a second penalty during the wet stint, I think. So I have to keep pushing and keep pushing on away, and I did manage to pull a gap away. And there's Darren Sinclair in second place. Darren on the soft, so I thought, okay, I should be able to get a good run on Darren too. I didn't have enough straight line speed to get Darren. I came close, you can see, but I didn't have enough to get by on the straights where it mattered. So again, lap 22, again decent. I know I'm right there. I'm still within DRS. Matt's got by Calsper. I'm pulling away from those guys, and that's good. I'm continuing to pull away, but I was quite aggressive trying to get by Darren in terms of my tyre wear and using these ultras. I may have taken a little bit too much out of them at this phase of the race, and by lap 24 and lap 25, obviously his pace, Darren's pulling away now. He's broken out of DRS, and he will continue to break away for the rest of this race. His pace on softs was utterly ridiculous. He was so quick, and he pulled away. Caught up to Scuba 4 seconds ahead. Hero Joken got by Mash and all, and he's catching to the end of this stint. He was around 8 seconds behind those, so I had enough time, I thought, to kind of protect it. And you look at that, 12 seconds in front is Darren, 2 seconds behind is Hero Joken. So once Darren got away, and once Darren got away, it was just basically I started saving the tires, put it into lean through the corners and such, and just get this car to the end. I had initial temperature issues. I got to 102 and the rear got a little bit slippy, but I managed to recover that, and we managed to hold on. So anyways, Scuba is going to win the race. It's a fantastic drive from him. Darren's going to finish second, and I'm going to finish in third. So that is a podium in Div 1. Come on! That's a big result. Big result. I didn't expect that coming out. I just wanted to finish this race after not finishing initially, so that was my main focus after that. And yeah, played the strategy very well. Again, not everyone understands how to when to kind of pit and when to not pit in the conditions, but I feel like I've got a very decent grasp on when and when not to pit, and I think that, as well as some advice from Dan Mars as well in this race, I think that was a big thing. So I did not expect to get myself onto the podium, I must be honest. I would have liked to have lessened the penalties a bit, but look, ultimately we're here, and that's a big result. So in the top division to get a podium, that's insane. A lot of things have to go right. So a lot of things did go right for me. Like a lot of someone like me to get on the podium, it's not based purely on, like, I did have to pick up the pieces. Other people had unfortunate incidents, like Kevin, like Dobby, etc. But you had to be there to take advantage, and I was. And pick up the pieces. That's what's up. You see the rest of the results. There are only 8 finishers, I think, in the end. Wherever Kevin was, that was that. So absolutely brilliant race. This is my favorite part of the season. This part, like coming up the flyaways. Apart from Russia, this stint of Singapore, Japan, USA, Mexico, these are some of my favorite tracks on the calendar. So we're getting into the kind of my part of the season where I'm hoping for some good results coming up, but we'll see how it works out with the competition. But that's it for round number is it 15 or 16? I think it's 15 of TMC. No, it's 16 of Div 1. Next up is Russia. So until next time.
Defended like an defended.